Hey everyone, and welcome. So today, we're going to tackle one of the biggest phrases you hear in global business right now, China+1. But you know what? We're going to cut through all the hype and look at what it really is, a practical, powerful procurement plan for building a supply chain that can actually weather a storm. All right, let's get into it.
Okay, let me start with a question, and it's a pretty scary one when you think about it. What if your main supply line, the one your entire business is built on, just disappeared tomorrow? Gone. For a whole lot of companies out there, this isn't just a thought experiment. It's the very real fear that kicked this whole strategic shift into high gear. You see, for decades, the game was pretty simple. Find the lowest cost, no matter what. And this led to this incredible focus of manufacturing in just a few key places. And hey, it worked great for a while, until suddenly it didn't. All that efficiency, it turns out, was hiding a massive, massive vulnerability.
And we're not just talking about one single disaster. It's more like death by 1,000 cuts. A new tariff pops up, a government changes a regulation overnight, a major port gets completely clogged. Any one of these can throw your whole operation into chaos. But here's the real kicker. When your supplier knows you've got nowhere else to go, guess who has all the power? Not you. You basically become a captive customer.
So this brings us to maybe the biggest misunderstanding about the whole China+1 strategy. When people hear that name, they immediately think it means this mass exodus, just packing up and leaving China entirely. But that's really not what's happening on the ground. It's a lot smarter than that.
And here's the key. China+1 is a portfolio strategy. Think about it like you're investing, right? You would never, ever put your entire life savings into one single stock. That'd be crazy. You diversify. Well, procurement leaders are doing the exact same thing. This isn't about ditching a supplier base that's reliable and massive. It's about adding options to protect the whole system.
And this chart just lays it out perfectly. The myth is this panicked, we gotta get out now kind of move. But the reality, it's a calm, strategic, long-term journey. It's about carefully building a network, not just yanking a plug out of the wall. I mean, for a big electronics company to get a new manufacturing site fully qualified, we're talking 18, maybe 24 months. This is a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay, so we've got the what and the why down. So now let's get into the good stuff, the how. What does this actually look like for the procurement teams making it happen? Well, this is the playbook they're using.
So, it all starts with step 1, finding and seriously vetting new partners. Then, and this is key, you don't just replace your main supplier. You set up a dual sourcing model where both are active. Step 3 is where the magic happens. You start shifting small but really meaningful amounts of your orders over, maybe 5 to 10%. This isn't just for show. It proves the new supply line works, and just as important, it gives that new supplier a real reason to care about you. And finally, you get the lawyers involved to rewrite contracts so you have the freedom to move things around when you need to.
And this is the payoff for all of that work. The moment you walk into a negotiation and your supplier knows, they know that you have another qualified active supplier ready to go, the entire conversation changes. You're not just asking for a better price anymore. You're negotiating from a true position of strength. Why? Because you have optionality.
But look, it can definitely go wrong. A lot of companies stumble because they cut corners. They might partner with a new supplier that can't hit their quality standards. Or they shift such a tiny amount of business that the new guy just doesn't prioritize them. And probably the biggest mistake of all, thinking this is going to save you money on day one. It's not. That's not the point.
And that last point really leads us to the most important shift in thinking here. If China+1 isn't really about immediate cost savings, then what's the actual return on the investment? Well, it's about completely rethinking what value even means.
And the difference is it's night and day. The old way was all about one thing, the price of a single unit, obsessively focusing on that. The new model, it looks at the total cost of ownership. That includes the unbelievable cost of a shutdown. We're talking lost sales, a damaged brand, paying for emergency air freight. The goal isn't saving a few pennies today, it's making sure your business is actually still in business tomorrow.
At the end of the day, building a resilient supply chain isn't an expense on a spreadsheet. It's a strategic investment in your company's future. It's insurance. You're not adding overhead. You're buying the ability to keep operating, keep serving your customers, and keep making money no matter what the world throws at you.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It really sums up the whole philosophy. It's about a fundamental change in how we even define a win. The hero isn't the person who saved half a cent on a part.
The hero is the leader who built a supply chain that didn't break when a global crisis hit.
So, that leaves us with one final question to think about. It's a question every single business leader should be asking themselves right now. Are you building your supply chain for the world as it is right now, or are you building it for the world as it's going to be? Because that right there is what real resilience is all about.